Have you ever done any research into MKUltra and the Monarch mind control program of the CIA? Well, if you have, here's the latest article from Vigilant Citizen. It's just another piece to the puzzle that we're all putting together, how they use their symbolism throughout Hollyweird and the music industry. But before we get started, please subscribe to my channel below this video. Click the little red subscribe button and click the little bell next to it to get notifications when I put out my latest videos. So on the latest article here on vigilantcitizen.com, Ikea hires B. Ackerland to create a blatant Monarch mind control ad campaign. So here we have this woman here that's an artist that's created this latest advertisement for, I think, the furniture company Ikea, where you see her with the black and white stripes, the duality, this kind of weird dazed glaze to her eyes and face, kind of what I call the stoid. It's like the cross between a stupor and the void. You see these little butterflies, these monarchs flying out of here, and the one is the right color, and then you got these multicolored ones that are kind of like part of the illusion. Got the red fingernails. So spearheaded by the elite's favorite stylist, B. Ackerland, Ikea's new ad campaign is a blatant display of the cult's elite symbolism. Furniture mammoth Ikea hired B. Ackerland, the industry's most prominent stylist, to create a line of cheap, useless objects. Materialism, can we say? And the ad campaign surrounding these cheap, useless objects is 100% based on the most horrific project known to man, Monarch programming. Makes sense, right? Well, part of the program, the programming of the elite is to consume. The materialism, the concept of a materialist universe, the belief, the atheistic belief that only physical matter exists, there's nothing beyond this realm or anything spiritual in nature. It's more of a, physical matter is the ultimate, that it, worship the physical kind of aspect, and don't even think about the non-physical or the spiritual. That's what these elites want from the sheeple, to program them into worshiping the physical and the materialistic. Simply by looking at the image at the top of this article, most readers VC probably identified the clear, unmistakable reference to Monarch programming. This is mind programming, mental programming, and there is much more, but the people at Ikea could not expect anything else by hiring B. Ackerland. Indeed, she and her husband, influential video director Jonas Ackerland, have been shaping pop culture and infusing it with the elite's imagery for years, and that is not an overstatement. Here she is, one of the countless symbolic pics found on B's Instagram account. So you got the all-seeing eye. You see this in Egyptian, the Eye of Osiris, and you'll see this throughout Hollywood and the music industry. They generally put it over their right eye, or they'll put their hand as in a circle and put it over their right eye. Like Left Eye Lopez. They reveal the left eye, the left hand path, the path of illusion and control and manipulation. The work of B. Ackerland is everywhere and has been featured several times on the Vigilant Citizen. She worked Lady Gaga's Paparazzi, Britney Spears' Hold It Against Me, and work B and Beyonce's Lemonade, and countless others, often with her husband Jonas Ackerland acting as the video director. B is also behind Madonna's very occult 2012 Super Bowl performance. Here she is, Madonna's entrance at celebrating Grand Priestess of the industry, and replicated the Chariot tarot card. The elites like to use a lot of the Egyptian symbolism. And look at the two poles, like the barber poles with the white and the black spiral. Each article linked above provides a ton of examples of Akerland's focus on occult elite MKUltra symbolism. However, it is with lesser known acts that the true, unfiltered spirit of the Akerland shines through. B worked a few times with the Swedish band Ghost. As you can see, it is all about explicit Satanism with the upside down crosses, the horns, another upside down cross, the black pope kind of thing with the skull. Not only do the Akerlands shape the visual imagery surrounding the world's biggest pop stars, they also create ad campaigns for the world's biggest corporations such as H&M, Virgin Mobile, Adidas, Citroën, Dell, McDonald's, Panasonic, Puma, so and so. The latest mega corporation on the list, Ikea. Omeldebar. The ad campaign promoting the Omeldebar collection mixes hypnotic patterns with circus fanfare music that screams, "I am losing my mind," and right from the beginning there is no doubt that we're in Monarch programming territory. So here we got B stands inside a room with the dualistic black and white stripes, an important part of MK programming, which deals with the split between the left and the right, the split between right and wrong, the blurring of lines. You see that in the blurred lines between good and evil. She wears a leopard print dress, which is associated with the sex kitten programming and used to identify beta slaves. Those are the sex beta slaves. Beta being like the hypnotic state of the elites. The ad then references another Monarch programming staple, which is Alice in Wonderland, which here she is with a clock, not unlike the White Rabbit in Alice in Wonderland. They're always using the black and white stripes. Time, the sine wave, living in sin, living in duality, living in separation from the Holy Spirit and from the Creator. See, we got the White Rabbit. Follow the White Rabbit. And time. Time. Always about time. You're out of time. I'm late. Being late. It's too late. That fear of being late. Like missing the boat. Missing the bus. Being left behind kind of concepts. Now you see this also in with the MKUltra and the mind control, that they work with what's called disassociation, kind of like living in a fantasy world. Alice in Wonderland, Wizard of Oz. Disassociation is like the split personality, the multiple personality disorder, because when someone is put through a traumatic experience, any kind of trauma, the mind, the brain itself is like a bunch of little honeycombs, like a beehive, and your consciousness stores memories in these different honeycombs, and your consciousness, when you remember something, will access that honeycomb and basically relive that event, that whatever happened to you. So the brain and the mind have a safety mechanism where if you experience some kind of trauma, be it like witness a murder, be it an accident, rape, these kinds of things, the mind many times will put up a wall, a barrier, kind of like a veil, so that you don't have to keep reliving those moments. And these people that do the mind control, they've mastered this art of programming the mind. But the mind can be deprogrammed, so they've mastered this art of creating disassociation and split personality, so that one personality might be a assassin, or one might be a sex slave, a nymphomaniac, whatever it is, they can program that into different honeycombs in the brain, and then some people have multiple personalities. And what they found, which is very interesting, one personality might have an illness, another personality doesn't have that illness, or diabetes. Tony Robbins covers this a lot in his books about how basically there's a connection or an association between someone's personality and their physiology, their physical body, and how they act. Fears and the courage, things like that. And when someone slips into these altered states, and they do use drugs and different psychedelics, because when people are under the influence of certain psychedelics, their nervous system can shift to where they don't feel any pain, where they don't feel any fear. Time itself can slow down, time can speed up. It's very bizarre, but this is how they work. Does this rabbit have pink eye here? In Alice in Wonderland, Alice follows the white rabbit through the looking glass into a nonsensical, confusing world where anything can happen. So they want people to live in this fantasy world where they believe in demons and zombies and monsters under the bed and abductions, and they want people's brains to be malleable so they can sculpt it like a little sculpture and form it into their version of reality. In Monarch programming, Wonderland represents the slave's disassociated state, which is fully controlled by the handler. So here we go, some more Monarch programming. Then we have her drinking from 2 glasses of identified drink and laying on the ground like a lifeless, drugged slave. And here we have some paintings made by Monarch mind control survivor Kim Noble. Waiting Rose and Crying Rose portray a slave wearing dualistic clothing inside a room with dualistic patterns. You see this red rose a lot in the symbolism of the elites. This can represent the slave after being deflowered by her handler. The flowers on the ground. Like the cherry under the table, another painting by Noble that focuses on dualistic patterns and references to abuse by a faceless handler. Yes, you are reading an article about an Ikea commercial. Did you expect things to get so dark? Well, this is the world we live in now. This is what's being promoted all over mass media now. Here you go with the mirror symbolism, like a scrying mirror, looking into alternate realities, alternate dimensions, mirrors, looking glasses, reflections, all important parts of the MK programming. Because the elites know that of the mirror effect of time and space, that they use this to their advantage and further control mechanisms. Now you can literally drape yourself and sleep on the one-eyed sign here. Look at that. And here you got B. Does devil horns with the hand thing she sells. So much creativity. Very creative. In conclusion, the fact that B and Jonas Ackerland are given lucrative contracts by the world's largest companies should come as a no surprise. They are the elite's favorite image makers. Everything they do is permeated with the elite's sick obsessions, mind control, ritual abuse, Satanism mixed with style and glamour. They've shaped the images of the world's most influential stars such as Lady Gaga, Beyonce, Katy Perry, Britney Spears, and countless others. They're a major reason why pulp culture is now a pool of homogeneity where all artists ends up displaying the same symbolism. Personal style and visual imagery used to be a way for artists to express their individuality, their rebellious nature, and their unique and world outlook. Now style and fashion are uniform indicating submission to the elite's agenda, and now they're selling that uniform to you. So there you have it, just another piece to this puzzle of this twisted and warped reality that the elites and the cabal and the deep state are trying to shove down the throats of our youth and the people that buy into this baloney, the stardom, star stupidity, people worshiping these puppets like there's something great, putting them up on a pedestal when they're just part of the program. But we are breaking free of that program. The time is up for these control mechanisms, for the manipulation of the beast and the insanity of the few controlling the many. So thanks for checking out this video. Be sure you subscribe to my channel below. Give me a thumbs up if you can, and please share this with your network on social media and that. Have a great day, my friend. See you on the next video.